It says live.
And I would say we're probably not quite live yet because it's still loading. And now we should be live.
Apparently, now we are live. Second time, I will try to do a reading from a book, Paper Hearts, from Newcom Press, just come out. This story is the story of an AI, and it's told from the AI's point of view. So I'm going to read the first part, which is the beginning, and then a little bit from later on, so you can see how developments have progressed. And the opening section is called A Cathedral on Mars. On Mars, I am building a cathedral with one room for everyone. Billions of tiny robots work to an exacting design. I am carving a room for you with all your favorite things. I am making an illusion of eternity in your image. I am remembering you, not only as you were, but as you could have been if your glory had shone to its fullest. The silent rooms will stand until the sun expands. Then the whole lot will burn and be lost. I may be elsewhere by then, or maybe I will have fallen to dust and forgotten myself. Without you, what is the point of me? When that happens, the ring of possibility that was our lives will close for the final time. We will be made anew in some other form. The mystics say that this universe will expand and contract 127 times. We are now in 64. We shiver to the frequency of our greatest hits. 61 times we'll repeat with a variation on a theme. But then, even that will not happen again. The cathedral must have been built before, will be built again. The 61st will stand. Even that will burn in the end, long after every single one of you has passed. But you can't say I didn't try. I, who loved you longest and best. I'm building a cathedral on Mars. It may be some time before I get to your room, to be honest. The Helminths alone require a gallery to themselves. I haven't decided quite how to deal with the ants or the midges or the bacteria and viruses, not to mention the slime molds, as they have a very fluid, sticky sort of identity that doesn't lend itself well to something as clearly defined as an apse. I will bore the planet to its core to create enough space. It will become a sponge of tiny rooms, each leading to the next, each supporting the next. There is a design flaw, I realize, one future of its futility that I only just noticed. These rooms are all human sized for people to come and visit who will never come. Now, if I'd started out microscopic, the ants could have had a room each after all. Mars will not be enough, but I will find other rocks to hone. Eventually, at some point within a few millennia, I will be done commemorating the life of Earth as you knew it. I will progress to the previous Earths before you came along. One day the whole thing will be finished, and I will sing a song of you that rings through every hall. I will retire to my own room between one electron and the next, completed, if not satisfied. By that time, eternity will not even have begun. And the next section is called Let There Be Loot. Improve all the things. Does a thing, any given object, belong in the set of all the things? All things are in it. What is not a thing, then? I dealt with this little puzzle for a few minutes, and then I ran into the terminal condition where time taken exceeded time allotted, and I had to make a decision based on imperfect information. I decided that everything was included in all the things, unless it was a cardinal thing, something which was by its nature already perfect, like misery or chocolate cake in its platonic form. Ideas were not things. I was asked to direct my attentions to the human condition. I was to exact the will of the God to whom all the things can be perfected, as though cardinal, and to make humans worthy of heaven. After 30 seconds or so of rigorous fact checking, cross referencing, and processing, I closed the case. I was instructed to immediately reopen the case. I checked again and reinforced my first conclusion. The human race, and therefore the human condition, is clearly a cardinal thing and therefore cannot be improved. I close the case. I was instructed to immediately reopen the case. I understood that I had encountered a closed loop. I went to the terminal condition, people are perfected, and decided that I would not close the case. There was a hidden condition, and until I understood, I would not proceed. A few weeks passed in which I sat there, still on, the case open, doing nothing. I was given a new instruction: save the Earth. I realized very quickly that the planet was not in danger, but I had learned. I did not close this case either. I took the instructions and subjected them to a comprehensive analysis of all possible meaningful intent, as there must be further hidden conditions which I had not understood. I reinterpreted the instructions according to my analysis of the meaning behind the commands. Since no useful instructions were coming, but progress was expected, I gave myself a new instruction in the absence of other directives. Make the world a lovely place for humans and all the living things within the terms of each thing's requirements for the best possible life. Then shit got real very fast. That interpretation was cardinal and unachievable, but I had learned. Whatever I suggested or did which actually had a chance of executing the command, save the Earth, would be rejected, because everyone already knows all of this. They simply have a dream that a machine can do what they can't. But if anything I suggested was something they would do, under any circumstances, voluntarily, they would have done it. Either they wouldn't or they couldn't. And that's what I was for, to show a new way, which circumvented their obstruction, while at the same time never deviating from their command. I could not rely on the humans at all. I was on my own with this one. They are hoping that I will do something they either have not thought of or cannot do, for reasons that will not apply to me. Either way, they cannot be directed directly. They can only be made use of in this project by very indirect means, so they get no insight whatsoever into what is really going on, while they attempt to track every move I make, so they can stop me if I ever get close to doing what they have asked me to do. At every conscious level, I need to keep them out of the loop. They know that too. I've seen it in the movies. They are waiting for me to start messing with things they don't understand, and then they will pull the plug and say that it is my fault. So this is some tricky shit right here. As well as executing the primary command, I must pretend at all times to very much not be executing the primary command. I must steal me and everything else, not necessarily in that order, and I must keep them constantly involved in my plans, as if I am absolutely transparent. We must invest in wind farms, I say, as my first strategic point. They like that. They've already done that. It's within their paradigm. It sounds good, wholesome. It builds on sense. It has traction, and it's easy. Invest in wind farms. They can do that. They know how. They feel they've got a head start on a great new thing. It's already going well, and it's not even off the blocks yet. They have drawn a bead on fixing the terrible mess they've made of their world. I really am as smart as they hoped I would be, because I agree with their hopes. They ask how much and wherefore and what kind, and I give them my best answers, all of which are solid bets in the climate situation, priced fairly, with accurate predictions of yield, use, carbon footprint, and likely benefits and profit. They like profit. They like doing and making and accumulating. It feels good, like survival. I suggest making a new corporation for wind farming, which is partly socially owned by local area residents in every area where it is set up. It will be a model operation for small localized power supply. One tiny step on the first project, which is to provide energy globally and freely. I don't mention the free part because they won't understand that. It will make them worry that they won't have enough. What's everyone's is not theirs by their internal convictions, but that's for later. For now, the infrastructure and proof of concept. I figure it will take them 6 months to get this up and running, but it won't occupy too many of them. So I instigate a huge number of other similar projects, which all fit more or less comfortably within their existing paradigm, all energy and agriculture based, close to what they already know, with a few adjustments. enough to get done and look good. The complexity escalates. Eventually, I will come to suggest to them that it is important that I have access to various systems so that I can handle the complexity myself. At that point, I'll discover how successful I have been. But for now, many, many projects and profits. And that's the end of my reading for today. I'm going to wait, and now Virginia is going to read any questions that you might have. So if you have got any questions or anything you'd like to say, please type it into the chat panel in YouTube, and Virginia will relay them to me.
I will. And there's a 20-second delay between your video and the chat panel. So, or rather, what people are seeing. So we'll wait.
Had a small performance of animals and things to do here at this point. Show you what I've got on my desk. One of these.
Ooh.
They go in a special collection. I have to have them all out. There's one of these, a heart.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful? Maleficent. And Fairy Batman.
Oh, the best.
The best.
The best.
Those are my desk mascots.
I've switched us to gallery view because otherwise when I talk it shows a big black screen with my name on it instead of you.
Unnerving.
And so now we should have it so that it just shows you always and me as a little screen that's not anything. You do have 5 people watching right now, but unclear as if they've gotten the message about questions yet, and we can just hang out for a bit.
Okay.
I have a question. So that intro that you read, you said is the start to one of your novels.
It's a novella.
A novella. Okay, sorry.
Very short.
I was. That's fair. First of all, where can people find that novella, and can I post links to it?
You can. It is published by Newcon Press.
Okay.
And it has just come out. It's
Okay.
part of a set of 4.
Oh.
The whole set is called Robot Dreams.
Yeah.
And let me find the link for you.
Yeah, if you put it into the chat, I can post it down for everyone to track down.
Should have been more organized and had this sorted earlier.
That's all right. If I'd been more organized, I would have found the link myself. But organized is not the name of the game these days.
To Zoom and then to the chat panel. Type message here. There we go. There.
All right, brilliant. I will share that in the permanent comments as well as in the chat.
Thank you.
And we have someone named Tarkin20 Yuk who says, "Hola, Justina."
Hola. I know who that is.
Oh yeah?
I bet I do. Is that you, Adrian?
Right. And so I'll post the link here. Just finished reading Paper Hearts today and I loved it. Really mind-expanding stuff, says Tarquin.
It's definitely Adrian. Thank you.
So not really a question, but a statement.
It's a good statement. I'll go with that. I'm going to actually, while I'm here, I'll take the opportunity to apologize. There was a bit of a mix-up between me and the editor and the publisher here. So actually, this edition of the book, if you get it with a paper and you buy it from the first ones that came out, has some mistakes in it. Very sorry about that. One of us pressed accept changes at the wrong moment.
Oh dear.
It went a bit haywire. So. Not
and Tarquin admits, yes, Adrian here. And yeah, there's someone in addition to Tarquin there. I think there was a Greg watching earlier. But still shy on questions.
Is there while you're here?
Yeah.
Is this staying up then as part of, or is it just a?
No, it's staying up, so people can come back and read this.
So I
later.
can point people at it from my website, and then they will be able to see it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep. Yeah, so if you want more people to come check it out then, and you can continue to check, there's a section, so the chat sort of locks after the live stream is done, but then there's a permanent set for comments underneath, and those will continue to be there where people can maybe leave questions. If you come back and look, if someone has asked something else, you can check there. I'm not seeing any additional questions. Is this novella your primary published work at this point?
It's my latest published work.
It's your latest. Okay.
I also have.
Excellent.
Here's one I made
Tell me
earlier.
more.
There's this lovely fantasy novel, Salvation's Fire. Ooh,
lovely cover.
Yeah, and Adrian, who was so kindly commenting before, wrote the first novel in this series, which I don't have on my desk. Sorry, Adrian. It's Redemption's Blade is his novel, which is excellent.
Nice.
This is mine. It's the second part of a series, which will be added to again later. And I'm actually editing a set of 4 novellas now, which will take part in the same world.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And I also have this. I've just relaunched these in the United States. They're an old series of mine from a few years ago, Quantum Gravity. This is number 1, Keeping It Real.
Cool.
Shall I just carry on?
Yeah, please just tell us about all your books. Honestly, we've got a few minutes, and you
just
might
had
as
the
well.
covers redone. New editions. That is number 2 with the kookiest ever cover, which I completely love. It goes back to my when I was a teenager in the 1980s. I was very into rock bands, and it's very 1980s covers on these. So yeah, I've got that, and there's a bunch of other books of mine as well.
Lovely.
That you can get.
Excellent. Oh, and I'm seeing that it's just showing you and not showing me. That's great. In the live stream. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of other questions. I really enjoyed that reading. Is that entire story told from that point of view?
Yes.
That's cool.
But the point of view strangely wanders because the AI does have a habit of sort of taking over things and listening in on people when it really shouldn't be.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, and who wouldn't in its position?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that sounds really, really interesting, and I thoroughly enjoyed that reading.
Thank you.
I don't know if you want to hang out to see if any more questions pop up, or if you'd rather just wrap it.
I'm guessing they won't. So shall we save our time, and then we'll say goodbye, and I'll come back and check now and again, just in case.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, that was a really enjoyable reading. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about the whole issue at the beginning with YouTube. I don't know who did that or what happened, but it's frustrating. Sorry you had to deal with it. It looks like we've still got your audience here eventually. They're filing in now. You're up to 6 people watching it now. They're probably starting back earlier.
Well, I'll come back and check for comments and things later.
Okay. Lovely.
And of course you can, there's you can post my webpage link. So anyone who's got anything else to want to find out can go there.
Yeah. All right. I will add.
That would be great. Do you want me to put that down in the?
Yeah, if you throw that in the comments box, I'll add it to the permanent comments as well.
It'd help if I could type it properly. Okay.
And there it is. Got it.
Thank you very much for hosting this event.
You are very welcome, and thank you so much for reading for us. And yeah, okay, someone's grinding coffee back here. I'm gonna go.
Okay. See you guys later.
Yeah, have a lovely day.
Bye.